Good morning. Beautiful day today. Welcome to my yoga space. My name is Andree. You all know me. I teach at JCC. So I want to start by talking a little bit about what's important right now in that time of isolating, which can produce anxiety, produce stress. And anxiety is not a bad thing if you have a burst of anxiety, but then you find something that enables you to just let go and you feel a sense of release by facing the anxiety, dealing with it, and letting go. So yoga can do that for you. It can put you in a totally different space. So during this time, it's more Shavasana has become even more important. So we know movement is necessary for your health. And the more joy you experience when you move, the more beneficial it is for you. When you do Shavasana, you want to be able to fully let go. And sometimes that takes a long time. I mean a long time, like 5 minutes. And at least 2 minutes before you feel that sense of release. And also it gives you time, since you lie in receiving without having to do anything, you are experiencing the space you're in, you're experiencing the body, you're experiencing the skin as you breathe. So feel that as you breathe, because the skin is a perception, is an organ of perception, and it's very important that we enjoy the sensation everywhere we find in our bodies. Okay. So a good pose is nourishing and empowering. So when you do a good pose, the pose works for you and it makes you feel good and it teaches you something about yourself. Maybe you may not realize it right away, but eventually you, as you do yoga for a number of times, you begin to notice that, how it changes you. Okay. So the skin being an organ of perception, knowing this, concentrate on the sensation of the breath in the skin. Feel the warmth in the inner part of the skin. Feel the coolness of the air on the surface of the skin. So these were thoughts that I had as I meditate and experience my body. So now today we are going to do seated twist to release any tension in the neck and the shoulders. So we're not going to do the twist the way you usually are doing the twist. We're going to move the neck a little differently. Okay. After we do that, we are going to do some downward facing, slight flow, downward facing dog, and plank, just to really heat up the body. And then we do some floor stretches. Okay. So let's begin sitting with your legs crossed. And here you want to take a moment to lengthen your spine. And maybe if you feel a little tense, or I don't know where you are today in your body or in your mind, but lifting the corner of your lips into a smile can be very useful in sort of changing the map in your head of what is happening. So closing your eyes, relaxing the lips, using the inhale to extend the spine to the crown of the head, and using the exhale to root through the sitting bones. So the inhale is there to elevate the spirit, and the exhale is there to ground the spirit. So you have these two wonderful things happening inside the body. Okay, so let's take a few breaths quietly, taking about the action of the breath on your body, on the spine. Another thing I want to mention, each time you exhale, as you're keeping the spine erect, let the shoulders release down. So you don't use muscles to do that. You just let the shoulders drop. So you have your hands resting on your thighs or on your knees. The arms are relaxed. And you want to feel the breath also in the chest cavity, feeling the expansion of the ribs. And feel the breath move to the back of your lungs. So we're very aware of the effect of the breath in the front, in the chest, in the belly. But sometimes we have to take our mind to the back. So as you inhale, feel the back of your legs expand into the shoulder blades. And as you exhale, let the shoulders release. So to be able to open the chest, to breathe through your back without lifting the shoulders. So it's almost like your chest is coming out from the armpits, shooting forward. How much can you feel the breath? In how many places in your body can you feel the breath? So we talk about the breath in the chest, the breath moving to the back of the lungs, the breath around the side body, around your waist, around the navel, around the belly. And notice how the breaths affect your legs as you sit in that position. Let's take 3 more breaths this way. And as you take your next breath and you exhale, just let your head bow forward. Now you let the head bow forward, but you keep the sternum lifting toward your chin. So you feel it nice, gentle release in the back of your neck, the top of the shoulders. Okay, and let's just open your eyes, look straight forward. So we're going to begin by extending the arms over your head, stretching up, going tall, and then bring the palms together, lower your palms to the center of your heart. Now let's take your right hand to your left knee. Place your other hand behind you and use it as, so now we're going to go into the normal twist. So you inhale to lengthen and then you twist to your left, bringing the right shoulder to the left. And the right shoulder moves back. And then let's just come back to the center. Take a big inhale here and exhaling, repeating the same thing. Inhaling to the center. And exhaling, twisting to your left again. So we did that 3 times. This time we're going to stay there. Keep bringing the right shoulder to the left. And now begin to turn your head to the right. And breathe. Continue to pull on your knee, lengthen the spine, and just turn, looking over your right shoulder. And then slowly look in the direction of the twist and come back to the center. Now don't go to the other side right away. A lot of time we're in such a rush, we know we're going to go to the other side, so we right away rush to it. So you want to take time to experience your body back into the neutral position. Feeling the breath move in, noticing the right side of your body or the left side of your body, noticing if there is any residue what you've done. Now let's extend the arms over your head, reach up, and then bring the palms together. exhaling the palms to the center of your heart. And then you're going to exhale, twisting to your right. So you bring your left shoulder to the right. You're going to inhale back to the center. Exhaling, returning into the twist, letting that flow motion, make the body comfortable with the twist. Exhaling back to the center. Inhaling here. And exhaling to the other side. So now we're going to hold this. So make sure your spine is fully extended. The left shoulder moves to the right, toward the right knee. Right shoulder moves back. And now begin to turn your head away from the twist. And keep breathing. Keep the spine lengthening. And notice that this may feel different on this side than it did on the other side. So we all know that we are asymmetrical beings. Let's take one more breath here. And then looking toward the twist again and coming back to the center. And experiencing that neutral position. Now let's change the cross of our legs. So you switch the leg that was in front. Always take the time to stabilize your sitting bones to your support. So I'm sitting on the bolster. You could be sitting on the block. You don't want the knees to be much higher than your hips because that begins to compress the hips. So you want those knees to release out and forward and out. So let's extend the arms up. Look up at your hands, bring the palms together, exhale. And then turn, twist to your left. Pull on your left knee, bring the right shoulder to the left, and then turn your head to the right. Breathe here. And sometimes if you want to flow, you could turn your head back toward the twist, and then turn to your right again. Keep breathing. Let's do this one more time. Exhaling, and then inhaling, looking over your right shoulder, and then returning to the normal twist and back to the center. Again, taking a moment to feel our body here. Now extend the arms over your head. Look up, bring the palms together, exhale. And then turn to your left, to your right. Bringing the left shoulder toward the right knee. Inhaling back to the center. Exhaling to your right. Inhaling back to the center. Exhaling to your right. Now lift the spine and then begin to learn to look over your left shoulder. Keep bringing that left shoulder to the right. And now let's turn toward the twist again. And again, turn your head toward your left shoulder. Okay, look forward to the side. And one more time, turn and come back to the center. And take a moment to breathe here. Now let's just close our eyes again for a couple of breaths so that we can maybe experience where we are now after we did just that simple movement. So reconnect to the body, reconnect to the extension of your spine, reconnect to the head of the shoulders, releasing away from your ears. So I use the word release because it's not a muscle action. It's a letting go, letting the weight of your arm release the head of the shoulders, creating space between the earlobe and the top of the shoulders. And then you may feel also right now, as you open in the chest with your breath, that your upper spine, your thoracic spine, is more in a concave position. You're not forcing that. Notice the natural way that the spine is going to come into that space. And then slowly extend your legs out. It feels good after staying with the knees bent for a while. And we are going to come to our hands and knees. So I didn't tell you, I hope I told you that you need a blanket and 2 blocks. So let's come to our hands and knees. So here we want to not overarch the spine. So in our cat-cow pose, as we do a cow position with the inhale, you want to concentrate on the thoracic spine becoming concave. So you're going to inhale, feel the tricep moving in, shoulder blades sliding down to each other. And as you exhale, begin to let the shoulder blades spread. Release your head between your arms. And again, inhaling, concentrate on the thoracic spine. Exhaling. Keep breathing this way. So the reason we want to, it's not hard to arch the lower spine because the lumbar spine is designed to be an extension. The thoracic spine is more designed to be in flexion, sort of rounded. So we want to wake up those muscles in our upper back. So we're using the tricep to really access that feeling in your lumbar back, upper back. And so let's do one more exhale. Feeling the elbow spread, and then press to child's pose. And keep your hands where they are. Don't walk your hands back. Just keep your hands where they are. Bring your forehead to the mat or to a block. And now direct your breath again to the back of your lungs. Now this out breath is different because you're in a different position. And now we're going to inhale back to the hands and knees. Exhale to downward facing dog. Let's begin by stretching the right leg up into 3-legged dog. Exhaling, bring your leg down. Left leg up. Keeping your hips square. And leg down. Let's take 5 breaths. Press your hands evenly from the fingertips to the heel of your palms. And breathing to the side body, expanding the side body. Now let's come forward to a plank. Holding plank. You can think about the thoracic spine. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Let's do this one more time. Inhaling plank. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Let's come to your knees and walk back until you're sitting on your heels in Virasana. Okay, tuck your toes under and come to Uttanasana, forward bend. Keep your feet a little wider than you usually would do. And what I want you to think about now is I want to keep the spine long. So you go inhale. You can use block for this. Inhale with the spine long. But as you exhale, don't just round the back. Begin to stretch from the tailbone to the crown of the head. So the back, it may go into that normal rounded position, but you're not trying to push into the forward bend. You're trying to work with the length in your legs. So feel the hamstring opening. Inhaling, you lengthen the spine. Exhaling, releasing from the tailbone. Increasing the stretch in the back of your legs. Let's do this one more time. Inhaling. And exhaling. You're going to inhale, come all the way up. And exhale. Tadasana. Okay. Now you're going to take your blanket. Okay, you're going to sit on the edge of the blanket. So you want the blanket to be elevated enough so that you feel that you then lift in your, you see, it becomes easier to lift the spine. So we start with the legs together. Again, experiencing the breath. Now you're going to take the back of your right knee and bring it in. You just pause there in the center. Keep extending to your left leg. So imagine that your left foot is against a wall and you're pressing your foot into the wall. Now place your left hand behind you, stretch your right arm up, and then place it on the inside of your knee, and then press against your knee to come into the twist. Bringing that right shoulder to the left. Let's come back to the center and extend both legs. Bending the left knee, same thing. So the right leg now is fully engaged as if you were standing on the leg. Okay, you lengthen the spine. Take your right hand behind you, stretch your left arm up, and then bring the elbow on the inside of the knee, and then twist. Come back to the center and stretch both legs. Now you're going to bend the right knee again. This time you're going to bring the foot on the inside of your left leg. Lengthen the spine. Now what we're going to do a flowing twist. So you're going to inhale here, exhale. Now we're going to twist to the other side. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And then back to the center. From here, you want to center yourself over the straight leg and begin to walk forward. And maybe placing your hands on either side of your leg, or those of you who can grab the foot, or you can use a strap. Okay, so you have this option. If you have a strap, to use that strap, place it around the ball of the foot. Okay. The important thing in forward bend is that you don't round the back. Right? You want to keep, again, working on the thoracic spine, releasing the shoulders down, opening the elbows, keeping the thoracic spine broad, keeping the chin lifted, coming forward. And notice I'm not trying to bring my head to my leg. This is not about this right now. This is about experiencing the forward stretch. And then slowly come back up. So I want to say something about forward bend. If you're a very tight person and you probably here, really the work for you, if you're interested, to gain more flexibility and at the same time protect the back, you use a strap and you take as much length as you need and begin to work here in that upright position, lengthening the spine. And see, when you work here, can you lead with your sternum coming forward and stay here. So you go to the place where you feel, okay, I am feeling the back of my legs, my spine feels fine, my back feels fine, and you just pause it, you've worked there. So the thing about stretches is that if you don't force the stretch, it becomes a more pleasant experience. Okay, so let's remember that. You want to experience the joy in every movement. So let the leg stretch forward, both legs. Okay, now let's bring the right foot on the inside of your right leg. Okay, lengthen the spine in the center. Keep that right leg fully engaged. And now you're going to exhale, you're going to twist toward your forward leg. Inhale, reverse the twist. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale back to the center. Again, since I demonstrated that already with the strap, if you find I will step into you, then you're going to take your strap. Okay, so lengthen the spine again. Begin to, so you not try to round the back, particularly the lumbar spine. It doesn't mean it's not going to look rounded, but you want to understand what are you trying to achieve here. What you're trying to achieve really is that extension of the spine, which happens by keeping the thoracic spine concave as long as you can. And so if you're working on that to increase your flexibility, you may want to stay in a place like this, not going any further. And you want to mindfully see, can I come a little further? Can I come a little further? And you take your time on your own. So you may choose a pose that you know is your nemesis pose, and practice that pose with kindness. Very important that you experience kindness toward your body. You know, if you can, you can either use a strap or grab your foot. Keep the thoracic spine concave. Let the elbows lift as you lengthen forward from the tailbone, keeping the chin up. Breathe here. Experience that twist. And then slowly lengthen back up and come up. And stretch both legs. Now we're going to do one more side stretch. I'm going to be facing you because I think you'll be able to see better if I am facing you. So let's stretch your legs forward again. You're going to bend your right knee, place your foot on the inside of your right leg. For that, you can also definitely use a strap. Okay. So sometimes I teach that pose with the leg way out to the side, but today I'm not going to do that. Okay, because we're going to go, and in fact, but if you feel it's easier for you to have the leg out to the side, then you do it. Okay. So what you want to do now is curl this way to your right, toward your right knee, toward your back leg, and then begin to just come in, bringing your elbow to the inside of your extended leg, which will be your left leg. And then see how much can come further, and then can you grab your big toe. Again, we have a strap, and you can grab the strap. So it's more important that you try to nudge your elbow to the inside of your knee than it is to be able to grab your foot. Okay, so if you need a strap, you use a strap. So once you're here, begin to turn, so you're lifting the right shoulder up, and now stretch your right arm straight out of the hip. And continue to press your elbow against your left knee to enable more twist. And then slowly place your hand on your hip and then come back up. Just know that even if you're flexible, some days, and then extend your legs forward. Some days we feel tighter than other days, especially as you get older. And you become, maybe because you're more aware when you're older, because you've done it for a while, or it's just that is the fact of getting older. But everybody can experience different levels of flexibility depending on the day or what's going on in their lives. Okay, so now you're going to bend your left knee, place your foot on the inside of your right leg. So once again, we're dealing from side to side, so we're dealing with a different experience. So for some of you, that may be easier. I know for me, that side is more challenging, and I honor that. I don't fight it. I'm not upset with it. I just decide this is the way it is. Okay, so you're going to turn, again, turning toward your bent knee, and then you're sliding your arm, bring your elbow to the inside of your knee, place the strap around the bottom of the foot, or if you can by arming, grab the foot, but don't grab the foot and then you like this in your pose. You want to be able to use your elbow against your knee to open the chest, open the whole body, and then bring your top arm by your ear. Keep pressing your arm, your elbow against your knee. Keep extending to the fingertips. And then inhaling, coming back up. And letting go of your strap. Stretch both legs. You're going to take a block and place the block by your shins, by the inner lower leg. For me, that's what works. For me, probably having the block on the lower leg works better, but some of you may want to use the block this way. So here we're just going to do a forward bend. Again, lengthen the spine. So notice that you lengthen the spine, and when you come forward, you try not to lose that. You try to maintain the length. So walk forward. And always take the time to pause. So you want to feel your tailbone moving back. You want to see how much space can you create in your belly. And walk a little bit further. Once again, those of you who can grab your feet, then you do it, or you use a strap, or you keep your hands over here. Now, if you're able to grab your foot or use a strap, then you can pull on your feet as you press your feet into your hand to enable more lift, more length in the spine. But then when you come forward, open the elbows out, bring your forehead down, keep the elbows lifted, keep the length, so sometimes you have to adjust your props, keep the length, keep stretching the belly, so you're lifting the diaphragm, creating more room. And then slowly come back up. So that forward bend here, seated, you may wish to do it with a chair. You know, if you have a chair, you could put your hand, have your legs under, put your hand. So it's an option for those of you who feel that really it didn't feel too good for your back. Okay. So now we're going to keep the block, and we're going to do a passive chest opening. So you're going to take your block, and some of you may need a second block or may need your blanket. So if you have your blanket, you can make a pillow for yourself. So then when your head goes back, it will protect your neck. Okay? So you're going to be here. You're going to place the bottom of your shoulder blades and right at the tip of your shoulder blades, right below the tip. You keep your knees bent for now, okay? And what you want to think about doing is lengthening the chest over the block. So if the first time you went down it didn't work for you, then you come up and you adjust. Maybe you need more height in your underneath your head. Okay, so there you are. Now rotate the tricep, so you bring the elbows down, lift, and bring the shoulder blades toward each other. So you are manually increasing that opening in the chest. Now you may feel comfortable here, but if you experience maybe stretching your legs out. If it hurts your back when you do that, then bend your knees again. And now extend the arms over your head. It doesn't matter if your arms come to the floor. Once you get the length, you're going to open the arms out to the side. Surrender to gravity. So I'm still with you, even if I'm not talking. Notice now the quality of your breath. Notice also the quality of your thoughts. Be with each breath as if it was the first breath. Notice how the body, the pressure changes in the body as you inhale and as you exhale. So at the beginning of class, I talked about the skin as the organ of perception. So begin to experience the breath through your skin. So you may feel warmth on the inside of the skin as you inhale and you exhale. Then you want to feel that maybe a little cooler sensation on the outside of your skin. The air in the room caressing the skin. So you have the breath warming up the inside of your skin, and the outer atmosphere cooling down the surface of your skin. Can you begin to let go a little bit more? So if that position works for you, you could time yourself in that position. It's okay to be there for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Taking time in your day to maybe do a restorative. And now you're going to bend your knees and roll off the block. Take this block and place it underneath your sacrum. Move the blanket away. So don't keep the blanket underneath your head for this. You want to lie totally flat on the floor, feet hip width apart. You lift, you slide the block on the low end under your sacrum. Now, bend the elbows and lift your chest. Slide the shoulder blades down your back as if you were doing fish pose. Those of you who know that pose, fish pose, right? So right now, only the back of my head is pressing on the floor, my elbows and my sacrum and feet. And then slowly begin to curl, releasing back down to the floor. So here there's a different type of awareness in that bridge. Instead of taking up how high can I lift my hips, we are concentrating on the thoracic spine, bringing the shoulder blades in, bringing the thoracic spine into concave position, and having the support for the hips. So let's do that again. Having your upper arms to the floor, rotate the triceps in, so hug these elbows in, push against the floor, and curl your spine away from the floor. And then slowly again, release back onto the floor. So we're going to do that one more time. Okay, pressing the upper arms to the floor, using your elbows to press down, lifting and see, can you go a little deeper into that opening. And then releasing back down to the floor. You're going to remove the block. Slowly curl your spine down to the floor. Okay. Let's bring your knees into your chest. Just let those knees drop. You know, I like better if you keep your knees slightly apart. You could even hold, if it's more comfortable, hold behind the knees. Or you can even do happy baby, grabbing the feet. So you have all these options that you can do right now. You can use all those options. Again, different days, you may just decide to do things differently. Now listen the breath. And now you're going to bring the sole of the feet together, coming into reclined cobblers pose. Again, so your feet are together, your knees are apart. Right? You're going to bend the elbows, and again lift, press the elbow together, lift your chest, and then release back down, keeping the spine, the thoracic spine more in a concave position. And then drop to the floor. Let's take 5 breaths here with the knees open in cobblers pose, recline cobblers pose. Can you release? Do you feel any resistance? Because we have resistance to relaxation. We think we love to relax, but through relaxation, we meet resistance. So whenever you find some tension in parts of your body, then you breathe into that part of the body. Now you're going to extend your legs out. Keep the feet wider than your hips. Again, lift your thoracic spine, then slide the shoulders down your back, and then let your arms rest by your side. Close your eyes, keep the palms facing up for Shavasana. Begin by bringing awareness to your state of mind. What are your thoughts now? I'm sure they are different from what they were at the beginning of class. So you want to feel, if you don't feel quite relaxed right now, not to your optimum, so to facilitate the relaxation, I talked about it at the beginning of class, you could take your block, place it at the top of your head as you lie down, and just press the top of your head into the block. Create a sensation there on the crown of the head, the chakra, crown chakra, and then just let go of the block. Keep that sensation alive on the top of your head. And let the whole body relax from that place, from the crown of your head. Feel that, especially with each exhale, that sense of relaxation coming from the top of your head. Now let the navel drop. Now this is not a muscle action. You just let the navel rest, drop toward the front of your spine. So as you remember, when you need to, depending on your state of mind, yoga can be used in different ways. So today we did the twist and some forward bend, a little bit of weight bearing, and that's usually touch on every part of your psyche. Right? So we sort of combine different movements as opposed to corset training or maybe back bends or just forward bends. Just remember in this time that a longer shavasana can be very beneficial. If you're feeling sad or you're feeling you're lacking, you're feeling a little depressed, lacking motivation, then doing some back bending the way we did a little bit here, this mini thing, this mini back bending, opening the chest, lifting between the shoulder blades, those are really beneficial for that state of mind. If you're feeling really restless and agitated, that forward bend, spending more time with forward bend can calm you down and be beneficial for you. So you listen to your body and decide what would work for me today. Okay? That is the quality of the breath. And right now, one of the reasons, because we're isolating, one of the reasons that we may get these feelings is because feelings come up in a vacuum of silence. And so some meditators purposely hide into a cave or go on retreats to be with that silence so that things can come up. And in that silence, you can really see it. And so that can be unpleasant sometimes, but it's really, if you have the approach of what is this, when an emotion comes up and you look at it and you really look at it without judgment. And it's a learning experience about yourself, because these things we have in our bodies all the time, but we really, we're busy, we have busy lives, and we usually do not get in touch with all these feelings, right? It's easy to hide them. Right now, we have, we can exercise and we can, to make ourselves feel better, but you're still in that vacuum of silence, isolation. So look at it as a good thing. If you don't have any other problems around not being able to work. And another thing I want you to remember is that you never practice yoga in isolation. You never practice poses in isolation. So there's always a sequence, something. If you, for me, in my practice, I like to start with downward facing dog, and usually I let downward facing dog, I use it as a gateway to a practice. So you can think about that. If there's a pose that you really like to do, you can use that pose as a gateway to a practice. Now you're going to take a deep breath in. Exhale mindfully and slowly. Let's take one more deep inhale. And as you exhale, bend your knees into your chest and roll to your side. And pause there in a fetal position. Again, we always have a rush, and I see that when I teach, and I don't know if you're doing it right now, but we come out of Shavasana, we roll over, and then up, we are right back up. So you want to, every time you make a movement, you go into a place, stay there before you move again. So now you can move to a seated position. I really appreciate sharing this time with you. I am really missing you, all of you. And you add so much to my life. Let's blend the palms together. Again, feeling the breath. Letting the shoulders release away from your ears. And as you take your next exhale, bow to yourself with gratitude. Namaste.